take out the guide reading. Some of you guys did, and I say that with all due respect, people, okay? So, today we are going to talk about dogs chasing after my man, Tristan. Yeah. So today we're going to talk about dogs chasing after my man, Tristan, who was in my class years ago. And we're going to talk about dogs chasing Tristan. But the thing is that Tristan already made a video about it. So go on ahead and let's go ahead and watch it. But make sure that you guys like this video, that you guys comment, that you guys subscribe. Anyway, let's go for it. Because Andrew comes from me from the other direction. I'm like, what is he doing here? Why is he doing this? So he pulls up in his little mini, his little... I'm actually going to share that video with you guys. I don't know if Andrew wants me to show it to you. I mean, realistically, I don't think it would really matter. But Andrew...
I found him. Where's he going? Following him.
I got him.
Always trying to escape. Where's he going?
But yeah, so Andrew, if you're watching, and let's see if we can try to heal up those brush burns and the sores. And, let's make golfing videos. Let's game again, Andrew. Come on, Andrew. We can do it. Come on, Andrew. We can do it. We can do it, Andrew. Me and your friends, Connor, Brian, Bradley, Caden. We all can do golf. We all can do that again, Andrew. Come on. Come on. Let's go. Come on, Andrew. Let's make that content again. Let's do it. Hello guys, how are you? Tristan here. Today we are going to talk about dogs chasing after moi. So today we're going to talk about some things. So after the last 6 months, filming YouTube videos has been extremely hard. I wasn't able to be unfiltered, I wasn't able to film when I wanted to film, and I was pretty limited on what I could film. because, you know, I could only film in that dark and dreary basement and have all the noise around me and all that crap, and it was really a lot for me to be able to film. I couldn't make videos super duper long because of that reason. And I wasn't able to film in the interior or exterior of the house, you know, because apparently I take all that stuff down, apparently. And yeah, so basically, all the old crap that pertained, all that type of stuff is gone, except for one video. And can you guys take a good guess on what that video is? It actually did not go viral, as I would have hoped it would be. So, back to the drawing board on that one. Anyway, so let's go ahead and let's talk about dogs chasing after me. And today's going to be kind of like a collab thing. Something in that nature. You know, because, you know, filming over the last 6 months, it's been really difficult. I've been very limited on what I can film, very limited on who I can film. I mean, you guys haven't even seen my cousin in an actual chill video than the golf video that he did, and trust me, he was all over that golf video. But the question is are Andrew and I going to be doing another golf video? That remains to be seen. I mean, if Andrew wants to do another golf video, then he can certainly do it. I mean, if he wants to, he can do it. He can just say, hey, Tristan, can we go out to the golf course again and let's film? That's literally all he has to do. But Andrew has not talked to me about that. He hasn't spoken to me about it. So I don't even know during the summer if he's even gonna even do it. But if Andrew, if you're watching, which you probably are, maybe you're not, maybe you are, maybe you're not. You know, that is still optional, but just remember it's not going to go as viral as you think we can. I mean, that viral blew up. It didn't blow up, but it was a good video though. So guys, go ahead and check out the golf video right down below. I highly encourage you guys to watch it, like, and comment, and subscribe. But, you know, it's just that this channel is not mostly focused on... It's not focused on golfing. It's mostly focused on biking and, you know, Roblox. Because, I mean, I really didn't plan for Roblox to really blow up like that. But apparently, Roblox has been getting me content. I mean, I'm almost halfway to 300 subscribers as the making of this video. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, it really is crazy. And, you know, I just want to say thank you to everybody who tuned into this video and watches it, you know, but, you know, understand that this channel is not primarily focused on Roblox. It was supposed to be mostly made biking related, which the biking vlogs are eventually going to be returning. It's just a matter of getting my mom to have the time to order a GoPro with me, so we can get a GoPro and we can start filming and biking again, which I think is going to be really good. It's going to be really entertaining, and I think a lot of people are going to enjoy it. So without further ado, let's go ahead and let's get into this video. Wait! We need to talk about something real quickly. So I was going to make a video about this, but this was back in like February or March. It was right around there. I was actually gaming on my Series X, and I was streaming and I was playing Fallout 3, and all of a sudden, you know, and my cousin had friends over, right? My cousin had friends over, they were down there playing pool and whatnot, and all of a sudden I hear, boom, 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 and I'm like, what the heck was that? And I thought, oh, maybe they're just trying to mess with me. Because, you know, the thing about it is, I'm not a teenager anymore. Do I really want to hang out with other teenagers? No. I don't want to hang out with teenagers. You know, I mean, and the thing about it is that, you know, they're just teenagers. But yet, teenagers need to realize that just because they're under the age of 17 does not mean that they're invincible. There's something called juvie. Yeah. juvenile detention center. So, but, and I'm just gaming, mind my own business, and I hear the loud pounding, and I'm like, what the heck is that? So someone opens the door and they said, guys, what's going on now? What was that noise? And they're like, oh, Andrew dropped something. Bullcrap. They were actually banging on my bedroom door and was pounding on it. I thought they were going to break my freaking door. So, yeah, that was kind of weird, and it was kind of like completely unnecessary. And I'm like, you got to be crapping me. Like, why are they saying things like that? And I talked to Andrew about it. Andrew's like, oh, well, they like to have fun. They like to have fun and be all silly and goofy like that. Yeah, but I am trying to mind my own business. I don't really give a crap what your friends do. I mean, I really don't care what your friends do as long as they don't bug the crap out of me. I mean, I know that you like go, huh, and all that stuff and would scare me, but, it's not the same, Your friends have to kind of be respectful to me. I mean, I am 21 years old. They kind of got to be respectful to me, low key. But, I mean, sometimes I feel like being sociable and sometimes don't want to be sociable. If they wanted to see me, they could have just, I locked the door for a reason because I don't want them coming in. Especially because I have an Xbox Series X and I don't want them to steal my Xbox Series X. Now, of course, really, my cousin's viewpoint on Xbox, it's actually not very good. Like, my cousin says, piece of crap, piece of crap. Well, sometimes PlayStation can sometimes be a piece of crap too when its services go down and I can't make myself my primary activation from a console and I wouldn't be able to watch Netflix. So yeah. But my cousin, he is anti Microsoft. He's anti Xbox. I hope me talking about it's not going to piss him off and he's going to frickin' clash with me. But, hopefully not. But anyway, I understand, friends always being boys, but, you kind of got to be low-key respectful, I'm trying to do my own stuff and do what I need to do and, if they want to say hi, they could have said hi and be on their way, I'm not really interested in being sociable. Now, of course, I did go out with them to the bowling alley once, and that was the Game Friends. That was with Connor, Brian. That was with Connor and Brian and Andrew, and Nick, my other cousin Nick, and that was actually good. That was really good. It was good to see him, good to meet him in person, but there's a significant difference between me being the way I am when gaming, and there's a difference between me being when I'm in person. When I'm in person, I'm a little more shyer, and I think they understood that. But based on what happened over the last couple months, I haven't really been playing with Andrew's friends, but if they do ever want to play with me again, then they can just surely do that. But I don't think so. But I know a lot of you guys are like, yeah, we want to. We really enjoyed your cousin's friends. They were funny. They would make you laugh. It's just that they say things that are very uncensored in the streams, and pretty much I had to delete all of my past streams. I'm not going to get into that, but but I pretty much had to delete all of my past streams, and they're worried about their reputation being at risk. You guys just gotta understand, people like to see you guys. They like to hear your voices. They like to hear you guys talk. They like to hear you guys do all this goofy stuff. But it's just that because of all that, when you're living with somebody, your real side is more projected than it is. Because before that, I got along with my cousin's friends. I got along with them like crystal freaking clear. They were nice. Andrew was nice. Andrew was not as opinionated as he is now. you know, we got along pretty good, but what ended up happening is things kind of de-wined and fell apart over the past 6 months, and it's because of that I haven't been playing with them. And you know, it's just that I'm trying to heal the wounds, you know, trying to sew up all the lacerations, and you know, making sure that Andrew's brush burns from the soccer courses heal, and making sure that Andrew's not sore. You know, and I do want to play with Andrew, but you know, they just got to understand where I'm coming from. They got to understand that, you know, that about the way I am, and you know, if they don't want to really talk about it, then maybe we should just talk about it. Maybe we should just keep it gaming related. You know, kind of meet halfway. Kind of be like, okay, well, maybe we shouldn't talk about that. Maybe we shouldn't talk about this. You know, and it's just that I just haven't really talked to Andrew about it because, you know, Andrew's a little bit, you know, you know, he has a lot of stress and he is a bit moody. And, you know, it's just that, you know, if he really wants to play with me, wants to do more golf videos, wants to do more gaming stuff, then he can just tell me. Andrew, if you're watching, go on ahead and tell me. I mean, but, you know, you and I and your friends are all going to have to work this out because, you know, I want us to play again, but keep things low key, you know, don't get too in depth in debates and conversations that don't involve me, you know, just basically act as if I'm not there, but act as if maybe I'm just cool, you know what I mean? And I just haven't really spoke to Andrew about it because, you know, Andrew might have something to say back, so I'm just going to go ahead and just send it to Andrew, and then Andrew can just send it on back. But yeah, so Andrew, if you're watching, and you know, let's see if we can try to heal up those brush burns and the sores, and you know, let's make golfing videos. Let's game again, Andrew. Come on, Andrew, we can do it. Come on, Andrew, we can do it. We can do it, Andrew. Me and your friends, Connor, Brian, Bradley, Caden. We all can do golf. We all can do that again, Andrew. Come on! Come on! Let's go! Come on, Andrew. Let's make that content again. Let's do it. Sorry about that, guys. I just got fired. Alright. Anyway, in the video, dogs chasing after me while I am biking. While I am biking. Okay, so biking. Okay, so let's get into it. So I have had dogs chase after me on bikes before. I've had dogs chase after me. I've had dogs literally almost get hit by my bike. Like, it's that crazy. So anyway, so let's go on to the story. So this happened to me about over the last 6 months. It happened back in January. I was riding a loaner road bike, and what happened is there was this dog, and there was this old man that was walking the dog, right? And he's walking his dog, and he's just walking his dog like normal. And, you know, and you might be thinking, well, in a Pennsylvania town, you wouldn't really have to worry about getting into a wreck there, you know, in a widespread Pennsylvania town with all the mountains and all the cornfields and all the fields and all that stuff. You might be thinking, well, maybe that. Well, no matter where you live, even if you live in rural PA, you will always experience idiot drivers, and, you know, that's just how it is. I mean, and idiot people. So this old man, he's walking his dog, and it's on one of those extendable leashes, and the leash is completely extended out into the street, right? And he sees me coming, and he doesn't take his dog and move the dog closer to him so I can get by safely. So as I'm going, I had to pass him on the left side of the road, and the dog comes out. The dog comes out and lunges at me right as I'm passing and barks. And it's a big like Labradoodle dog. And it's a big Labradoodle dog. Like, it is big. It's a big dog. and it comes running out, and it runs out almost in front of me, and luckily the dog jumped back or I would have hit it, so I slammed on my brakes, I had to swerve, and I almost hit the dog. And all he does is, come on, come on. And the old man does not apologize. He doesn't do any of that. Now this old man, he would walk his dog quite often in the street. He would walk it. One time his wife was walking it, and there was salt on the road. And so she was in the middle of the road. She didn't really know which direction he was coming from, which direction he was going, and she was actually trying to get to the left. Well, I couldn't go around her on the right side because there was no way I could get by. So I tried to pass on the right side, right, on the left side, and I would go right on where the salt is. I had to go incredibly slow because the salt would have just spit it up. It's like the oil and chips like they're doing to that road. And and the salt spits up, and I'm trying not to have it spit up into her, and she goes, "Hi." And I'm like, lady, I don't got time to say hi. I'm trying to worry about not trying to get past you and not trying to spit up rocks. I don't care about being friendly right now. So she just basically, the whole entire time I passed her, she's like, and that's literally what she's doing the whole entire time. And I'm like, what the actual heck is going on? Like, oh my God, I'm sorry I wasn't very friendly, but you're the one that's being stupid too. So yeah, so basically what I would do is I would try to avoid them by going down different streets and stuff, and that's pretty much how it is. So then what would happen is they would come up and they would like say, and like there are people in that neighborhood that was friendly enough. I mean, but anyway, so going on to the second incident. So there was this other dog. It was like a wiener dog looking dog. I don't know what it was. It looked like a wiener dog, but I don't know. But it was small. It was a small dog. Now this dog almost literally got ran over by the road bike. And could you imagine if I had wrecked that road bike? The person I was loaning from would have been pissed and probably would never let me ride again because they were planning on selling that bike. And so what happened is we were on the bike, and I was on the bike and I was going, and the same thing happened, except the dog completely ran out from my bike. I was for certain I was going to run over that dog with the bike. So I slammed on the brakes. There was not a daggone thing I could do, and thankfully the dog jumped back right before it got hit. And I was able to squeeze around it, and so ever since then, I was very, very cautious. I would try to avoid the dog at all costs. But yeah, it was crazy. And it's not just that would happen. There were other dogs where they were like they would just bark at you, like where they would just bark at you, and they would bark at you constantly as you go by. And I just ignore them. I mean, hey, as long as they don't run after me, I'm perfectly fine, right? So that's what happened. But thankfully, I never had any dogs run after me. I've seen a couple golden retrievers out with an electric fence, but thankfully none of them ran after me. Thankfully, but one time I was walking my dogs in the backyard at their house, at my cousin's house, right, and not the one directly next door, the one that runs along the fence and barks. That one's a whole different story. The other one that's on the other side ran halfway down the field this one night, was halfway down the field, and I was for certain that dog was going to run after my dog. So I quickly got my dog, got him inside, and what the heck? Not even in rural PA are you safe. So then while I'm on the topic of that neighborhood, there were a couple points I want to bring up. So this happened to me recently. I mean, it was about maybe a month ago, or about maybe a few weeks ago. Yeah, it was about a few weeks ago. I was on the bike, and there was this guy. He was in a light blue, like a teal, baby blue BMW. And it was a convertible. It was an older BMW, right? And first, he pulls in the neighborhood, and he pulls up behind me. And I'm thinking he's probably getting around the oil and ships, because what they're doing is they're basically oil and shipping the roads. And it's where these rocks, and they spit up. I mean, Andrew had a crack in his windshield, and probably still does as he's making of this video. But anyway, so, you know, and that's what I probably thought he was doing, right? So he's pulling up behind me, right? And he goes up and pulls around me. This guy literally turns completely around in the driver's seat and looks up at me as I am going past him. And I'm like, what the heck are you looking at? And I said, what the F are you looking at? And I said it so loud I thought he would hear me. Well, then he goes down the road, and then he comes back around again, and I pulled out in front of him, and then I was behind him, and then I hear beep, and then he pulls in that little cul-de-sac where these boys are playing basketball, and hear beep 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 beep, and I'm like wondering what the heck is going on. And when that guy beeped at me, I said F you, and all this other stuff too, and I'm like wondering what the heck is going on. And, you know, I'm like, what the heck is going on? What's going on? Like, why are all these, like, what the heck is going on? What's this guy doing? So apparently he hangs out with those friends. He leaves, and he goes and leaves, and he pulls past me, and I'm at a stop sign, right? He pulls past me. He turns around, and as I'm waiting for him, he goes and, like, awkwardly, like, waves at me. And he was freaking me out. And I'm like, okay, this guy must want something from me. And I almost was about ready to take out my phone and start recording him. So he's doing all this stuff, and he's like waving at me and stuff and being all weird. There's only two things I can conclude from him. Either that he likes men, or he's on drugs. Or maybe he's a weirdo. Maybe all three. Who really knows? So I'm like, okay, well, this is weird. Like, why is there a guy, you know, going around and following me like that? Like, this is just, like, this is weird. So I just continue riding, and that was the end of it. Well, then apparently as I'm riding, a freaking bird goes and hits me in my head. And I go to where the Ring camera is on this one house, and I'm like giving out my phone number and stuff, and I don't know to this day what had hit me. So who really knows what hit me? And it's on TikTok too. If you guys want to check it out, my TikTok, I think it's just my regular first and last name on TikTok. Just look up my first and last name on TikTok. You can be able to find my TikToks there. Okay, so let's discuss. So while we're still talking on the topic of the neighborhood, I remembered when, was it Andrew? Maybe. Okay, so this other time, I'm also gonna put this in here, but Andrew was tailgating me while I was Andrew was tailgating me while I was on the bike, on the road bike, because Andrew comes from me from the other direction. I'm like, what is he doing here? Why is he doing this? So he pulls up in his little Mini, his little, and you know, and his Mini is like a decent car. I mean, it's not, you know, it's not. I mean, his car is fun. It's nice. It's cool. But it's just not fun sitting in the back of that thing. Yeah, it's not fun sitting in the back of that thing, you know. It's kind of claustrophobic. Anyway, so, you know, when Andrew likes his Mini, it has all these lights and stuff, and it has all these boop beep, boop beep, boop beep, boop beep. And I mean, I actually drove the Mini, and I don't know if I'm actually going to share that video with you guys. I don't know if Andrew wants me to show it to you. I mean, realistically, I don't think it would really matter. But Andrew let me drive his Mini. And he let me drive his Mini in a little parking lot, and I did pretty good. And actually, Andrew's actually more satisfied with me driving his Mini than he did with the golf cart on the Calola golf range place, whatever. Andrew was like, "Oh my God, Justin, you're driving so bad, blah, blah, blah." I'm like, Andrew, okay? Nobody's perfect. Well, yeah, no crap, Sherlock. But you got... Yeah, you know how Andrew is, guys. You guys really haven't really seen Andrew on film very much, but here's a clip of Andrew being Andrew.
I found him. Where's he going? Following him.
I got him.
Always trying to escape. Where's he going?
Here's the irony. So while I'm driving the golf course, I put it in reverse, right? And I put it in reverse. Andrew's on the other side of the golf course. Like, Andrew's on the other side of the golf course, like, "Tristan, what are you doing?" It was just so funny. And anyway, so going back on track. So Andrew was pulling behind me, right? And he pulls around me, and he's like, "What do you want from Chipotle?" I'm like, "I just want bland stuff." "Bland stuff? We can't have any bland stuff. That what you want?" I'm like, "Andrew, listen to me. Because I want bland stuff, that's my final word. Bland stuff." So he pulls up behind me, and he's like, and he's listening to this, and so he pulls up behind me, he's being all silly and stuff. He pulls up behind me, right? He pulls up behind me, and, that was that. But not only that, so let me explain this story about how I had some road rage. So, road rage. How did it happen? So, I kind of pulled a D move. And so, let me explain this. So, while I am on the bike, there's this family. They were fixing up a car. They were fixing up a car for a daughter or something. And it was this old little white car that didn't run. And there were these boys, and there were these guys, there were these neighbors. They were all standing in the middle of the street. And they know I was pulling up. One of them looks at me, and they know I was pulling up, and they just ignored me. So I'm like, hello, move out of my way so I can get by with the bike. So I just went and just pulled right between the car and right between a woman. And I'm like, you know what, people? Y'all want to be in my way. Y'all get treated like crap. Get out of my way. I'm like, and I don't mean to sound like a jerk cyclist, but it pisses you off when you got pedestrians ignoring you. So I'm like, you know what? You want to ignore me? Well, then you can get a nice close-up view of the bike I'm riding. Now, if I was on the bike I was have now, I would have been blaring the horn. I would have said, "Ma'am, you need to get out of my way." Or I was about ready to go in the grass and cut around them all. This is ridiculous. When there's a bicycle coming down the frickin' street, you move out of the way. Don't ignore them. Frickin' idiots. Entitled people. And, they would be walking in the middle of the street, and I'm like, really? You really gotta do that? Stick on one side, and look where you're going. I don't care if you think I don't care if you think I'm a jerk. This is the way it works. There are cyclists a lot more worse than I am. So, you best just get out of the way. You know? I mean, and I'm on a frickin' bicycle. Like, come on. And, because one of Andrew's friends was in a little car, and they pulled up behind me, and I'm like, oh my God, not this again. I really don't want to deal with people. And they were just driving around in it, and, I saw Andrew's other friend, and, they were all like, 16-year-old, the typical 16-year-old driver. It's kind of how Andrew is. Andrew's kind of small. He's a steering wheel holder. And, it's just how he is. But Andrew's a driving criticizer. Would be interesting to see what he'd be like if he was a driving examiner. I mean, I think it's because Andrew had to deal with that. But anyway, we're not talking about Andrew. We're talking about dogs and the whole PA thing. So there were a couple times, people were being stupid. People would almost back into me. I've almost gotten backed into. I've had people pull out in front of me. But let me share this one story. So this Amazon van was behind me, and I had to cut in front of it to turn. Well, it was riding my butt the whole way down the hill, and I had to stop down the hill. So I went and put on the brakes, and I almost couldn't even stop because he almost hit me. And then there was a UPS truck pulling up from the other way, and I'm like, oh my God, people. So after I make my U-turn stuff, the guy goes to get another look. I'm like, yeah, you're the one that's tailgating a cyclist. You're more important. You're more worried about getting your deliveries on time than going in, than worrying about being behind a cyclist. Like, come on now, people. Get your act together. And there were some people in the neighborhood that were friendly, but there was one people that were not friendly. They lived in this green house, and this woman was not friendly. Like, she'd see me, and they wouldn't even wave at me. Like, they would just stare at me when I go by. I'm like, what the heck? But I mean, hey, we're out of that neighborhood. I finally got my bike back. Now it's time for us to pave our own way and not have other people tell me how to ride my bike and all that other stuff. So, yeah. So we're basically out of it. So going on to dog chasing story. So this happened when I was in Virginia Beach. I was in Virginia Beach. I was riding a push scooter. And there were these two golden retrievers that were not on a leash. They were not on a leash, and they were running around. Well, they chased after me, right? And they were chasing after me, and I didn't know if they were aggressive or not. So I went and held up my foot at them. I don't know if you guys can see my foot, but I went and held up my foot at them, and held up my foot, and don't you attack me. Well, then the second day, they went and came after me again. And this time, they actually chased me down the whole street. And they got so close, I felt them touch my butt. So after they had hit me, they were trying to get the dogs and trying to get them in and that type of stuff. And we're like, yeah, we definitely gotta get out of there. And it's pretty crazy. And they were chasing after me, and stuff. And that's not the first time I've had dogs chase after me on a bike. One time there was one little pug, like a pug, English bulldog, mixed dog or whatever. It was like a pug looking dog. And it was running down the street. And it was running down the street after me, running down the whole street after me. And it was running, and it had forced me all the way. It was literally running faster than my bike that I was riding. And it literally went all the way across into the, what's it called? The area right before the curb. And then it cuts right in front of the curb and almost gets hit. And I came to a complete and sudden stop. And then the dog just ran away. And I'm like, what the heck was that about? I've had dogs chase after me. One time I had a little dog chase after me the whole way up. And then one time I was on the old 2015 bike, and there was somebody at the front door at this one house, and as the door opens, the dog sees me and runs out the door, and it chases me down a whole street, and it literally chases me down the whole street. I'm speeding, and it literally chases me down the street, and until something catches its attention, and it gets away. And the owner pretty much had to go and look around to search for their dogs. And to search for their dogs. So what we had to do was we had to go, and so yeah, that was pretty crazy. And then another time, a dog had chased after me, and it was it a big dog? Yeah, it was a big dog. And this other dog had chased after me, and it was a big dog, and it had chased after me, and it was attacking someone else's dog, and they were trying to break it up. And so the dog eventually was running after me, and I was like honking the horn, like trying to get whoever it is to get their dog, and it was pretty crazy. And yeah, it was pretty chaotic, and it happened a couple times at that one house. So yeah. Anyway, my storage is getting full, so I gotta go import this video, and then we will continue it on in a moment. Thank you.